Our Earth is drying up, which is not only affecting our water supply, but also posing a huge risk to devastating fires and other natural disasters. Vili Abraham is here to talk about technology that could literally combat Mother Nature and make it rain without a native dance and a headdress and all of this stuff. So I'm reading about this, and first of all, I'm like surprised it's not coming out of Israel. Not that Americans are, you know, half bad, but tell us about it and why we need it.
Okay, so first of all, if we look at what is happening in the world, there is serious drought in a lot of places of the world because of deforestation, global warming. Today, there are about 1 billion people who live in places where there are water shortages. According to the World Wildlife Fund, by 2025, it'll be about 2/3 of the world. So it's really, really serious. Can you imagine about 5 or 6 million people living in places that have shortages of water?
Wow.
By the way, in Israel, we're experiencing the 5th year of drought, and according to Mekorot, the Israeli water company, even the desalination plants are not enough, may not be enough to supply water. So we really are in an emergency situation, really
we're
borderline.
At the cusp of
and by the way, there are a lot of countries, if we look at North Africa, Ethiopia, Somalia, China, Morocco, a lot of places have shortages, and there are a lot of consequences. If we look at the environmental consequences, first of all, reduction in soil quality, that's one. Economic consequences, if you remember the drought in California, in 1 year, they lost 10,000 jobs because of the drought, and the economy, there was a $2 billion damage to the economy in 1 year, and social consequences, malnutrition, wildlife dying, etc. So we have a few things, a little ray of hope.
Exactly, a little ray of hope. Well said. Look at you. We don't look like this everywhere. There was another like of just the crusted.
Fortunately not. You know, this cloud seeding is really fascinating. First of all, the idea has been in existence for about 80 years. The only reason why we didn't hear about this until now is because it wasn't proven scientifically. Now we know scientifically that it's something that can work, and this is how it works. So manned or unmanned aircraft, they fly into the cloud. First of all, we have to have cloud. We cannot manufacture clouds. Okay. Now what it does is it injects it with an inert chemical. It absorbs the moisture, and then it crystallizes. It becomes actually
like ice. Like icicles.
And then it falls to the ground. And by the way, if you look at Idaho Power, which produces energy for 500,000 customers in the States using hydropower, they were able to increase water generation by 8 to 15% by using cloud seeding, which I think is really...
So literally, like the drones or the planes will like fly through the cloud and like just drop, like spray it like
exactly
just like that, and it just freezes instantly?
It freezes instantly and falls down as rain or snow. And by the way, you know, there are a lot of interesting things that we can see in the world happening. For example, in Chile, there is a fog catcher system. So it captures the fog and turns it into water and stores it. If you look at another phenomenon, which is called the Meatless Monday, you probably heard of it.
We heard about it.
We had Miki Khaimovich here, right? She runs it here in Israel. It was founded in 2003, and if we don't eat meat for 1 day, we save a lot of water. You need about 1.8 thousand gallons of water to produce 1 pound of meat.
No way.
Can you imagine that? And if we look at pork, it's about 500.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really a lot. Advanced irrigation systems. If we look at Netafim, it really has advanced systems. Of course, as we said, desalination plants here in Israel, they provide about 60% of the water that we consume. In the future, we'll have 2 more plants constructed because they cannot meet needs. And by the way, something that we're really good at is what is called gray water recycling. So we're talking about water that comes down our home's tubes, whether it's from the sink, from the shower, from washing machines. And here in Israel, we recycle about 80% of that. So these are some of the things that are done in order to combat drought.
I want to see it in action. I want to like be there under a cloud with these icicles just dropping, you know, just in one place.
Yeah, you know, as opposed to a lot of things that we talk about that are really futuristic, the cloud seeding is something that is happening.
Fantastic.
It's really happening.
Thanks, Vili. Good topic today. Thank you.